This is Dott TV News at 4. I am Chiamaka Ezapata, and here are the stories we have for you. The Delta State government drive to attract foreign direct investment received a major boost on Wednesday as investors from Brazil, Malaysia, and the United States expressed a strong interest in investing in the state's agriculture, energy, and industrial sectors following an inspection tour of key investment sites across the state. The investors who participated in the Delta State Economic and Investment Summit visited the Kwale Special Economic Zone, where they were conducted around the facilities of Kwale Gas Gathering Hub and the Phoenix Company. The team also visited the Skyward Resources Group in Ole and the Ozeze Farms in Oyede, where they commended a state investment-friendly environment and pledged to explore strategic partnerships.
Leader of the Brazilian agribusiness delegation, Roberto Fonseca, described the Kwale Special Economic Zone as a well-conceived initiative capable of attracting global investors and boosting Nigeria's industrialization. Fonseca said the delegation had monitored developments at the economic zone for some time before they decided to visit, adding that the project reflected the Delta State government's commitment to creating an enabling environment for investment.
One of the biggest challenges you have in Nigeria is food security. You have to produce a lot of food for your growing population and to feed your country and as well to export. And as you may know, Brazil is, I'm very proud to say that, is agribusiness powerhouse. We have today leadership in the world in many areas of the agribusiness, like soybeans, beef, corn, poultry, cotton, orange juice, and many others. Because we have invested a lot in research, in innovation, in modern agriculture like you are doing here. So Brazil is for sure a partner of Nigeria in the food security challenge. Count on us. We are going to be together with you.
He disclosed that the Brazilian group was considering investment in gas-fired power generation and a cassava processing plant through a joint venture arrangement, noting that Kwale's strategic location made it an ideal destination for such projects. During a visit to Skyward Resources Group and Ozeze Farms, Fonseca praised the modern agricultural facilities, describing them as evidence that Nigeria possesses the capacity to strengthen food production and achieve food security. Also speaking, Malaysian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ayub Omar, said Malaysia was exploring investment opportunities in Delta State agricultural sector, particularly oil palm development.
For Delta State, we are exploring the opportunity in palm oil business. I spoke with the Governor Sharif yesterday and the day before. Maybe we can explore the 12,000 hectare of the palm oil business. AgriNexus under Dr. Sharma is not only in Nigeria. He also has been operating a plantation in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and whatnot. What Ghana. Else? Ghana as well. So I think with his vast experience, we can do something for Delta State.
Founder of AgriNexus, Dr. Shamal Pereira, said his organization was already working in Nigeria and had begun collaborating with local partners in Delta State. Speaking during the tour, Delta State Deputy Governor Monde Onyeme, who led the delegation, said the state deliberately combined investment discussions with field visits to existing businesses to demonstrate that Delta was genuinely prepared for investment.
We need to convince our visitors, potential investors, that we are in business here already. What we are looking for is partnership. What we are looking for is technology. What we are looking for is expertise. And we have people, private individuals here, who are ready to partner with as many investors as are willing to come. We want to give you that confidence, and that's the reason we're here.
After the tour, the investors paid a visit to the Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori at Government House Asaba, where the governor declared that his administration's drive to diversify the state's economy is aimed at securing prosperity of future generations. Oborowori said the summit was designed to showcase Delta's vast economic potential and reassure local and foreign investors that the state is ready for business. The governor commended the foreign delegations for participating fully in the three-day summit and undertaking inspections of strategic investment locations, describing their sustained engagement as evidence of confidence in the state's investment prospects.
I must commend the ambassador from Malaysia. He has been here since you came. He participated on Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. I'm very, very happy that he also went for the site inspection, and very happy with that. And we are ready. We just want to show to the world that Delta State is ready for us to diversify. We can't depend, like I said, can't depend only on oil, because the next generation, we should think, lay a foundation, a solid foundation outside oil. That's why this economic summit is so very important. I want to commend you people for the time that you people have spent here. 3 days, 4 days have been Delta. You know that you've seen that Delta is very peaceful. Very peaceful. We are going to provide the enabling environment for all investors.
The Nigeria Security and the Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has arrested and paraded 5 suspects for allegedly vandalizing power line cables in Kwale, Delta State. The state commandant of the Corps, Chinedu Igbo, disclosed these while parading the suspects in Asaba. The reports.
According to the state commandant, Chinedu Igbo, some of the suspects were arrested while allegedly vandalizing power line cables, while others were apprehended for allegedly being in possession of the stolen items. He said the arrests reflect the command's sustained crackdown on the vandalism of critical national assets, describing the offense as economic sabotage punishable under the laws of the Federation. The commandant warned those involved in vandalizing critical national assets to desist, saying the command has intensified operations to curb the crime across the state.
In our continued fight, an ongoing fight against vandalism of critical national assets and infrastructure, government in this Delta State Command of NSCDC, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to protecting critical national assets and infrastructure and dismantling criminal networks engaged in this vandalization of public utilities. The command uses this opportunity to commend the efforts of the Otagbe vigilante group for providing timely, credible intelligence, which was instrumental to the success of this operation, and to give a final warning notice to anyone involved in the vandalization, purchase, or sale of stolen sinai, because if we identify them, they must be arrested and made to face the full weight of the law.
He assured residents of the command's commitment to protecting lives and critical infrastructure, while urging members of the public to provide credible information that will help apprehend vandals. Emeka Okonkwo reporting for Dott TV News.
The wife of the governor of Delta State and founder of the You Matter Charity Foundation, Tobore Oborewori, on Wednesday received a donation of wheelchairs from the College of Special Assistants, Delta North, to support the foundation's humanitarian interventions for persons living with disabilities and other vulnerable groups across the states. The wheelchairs were presented by the chairman of the College of Special Assistants, Delta North, Clifford Osuenye during a brief ceremony at the First Lady's office in Government House, Asaba. Presenting the donation, Osuenye said the members of the group were inspired by the foundation's commitment to improving the lives of vulnerable persons, particularly children and persons with disabilities, adding that the donation was their modest contribution towards sustaining the initiative. Responding, Oboriwori described the donation as timely and unprecedented, saying it was the first time that an organization or members of the public had presented wheelchairs to the You Matter Charity Foundation since its inception. And Delta State will host the 30th quarterly meeting of the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC Management, with Executive Chairman of State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEBs, from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, from Monday, August 10 to Thursday, August 13, 2026 in Asaba. The four-day meeting, themed Repositioning Basic Education in Nigeria to Optimize Investment and Impact, will bring together key stakeholders in Nigeria's basic education sector to deliberate on strategies for improving the delivery of quality basic education across the country. The meeting is expected to reinforce the shared commitment of UBEC and the various SUBEBs to optimize existing investments in a basic education, strengthen collaboration and accountability, and implement practical interventions that will deliver measurable outcomes and sustain impact nationwide. To other stories, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to immediately return to court and vacate the order freezing the account of the Osun state government. In a statement issued on Thursday, the president said he was not opposed to the EFCC carrying out its statutory duties, but described the timing of the action coming just days before the Osun governorship election as inappropriate and capable of undermining public confidence in the democratic process. Tinubu said that he had consistently allowed anti-corruption and law enforcement agencies to operate independently without political interference since assuming office. However, he explained that because actions of federal institutions are often linked to the presidency, he felt compelled to intervene in the overriding public interest, despite not yet receiving a full briefing on the facts behind the EFCC's decision. Well, before the President's directive, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had defended its decision to place a temporary restriction on one of Osun State government accounts, saying the action was taken after it detected what it described as suspicious financial transactions. The Commission stressed that only one account was affected, not all of the state's accounts. EFCC spokesperson Wilson Wujaren said the agency acted on the powers granted by Section 34 of the EFCC Act and Section 76 of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2022. He explained that the law allows the Commission to restrict an account for up to 72 hours without first obtaining a court order, after which it can seek judicial approval if further action is required. The development follows an ongoing EFCC investigation into the alleged mismanagement of about 11 billion naira in Osun State funds. And in a swift reaction, the Osun State government denied allegations that 11 billion naira was looted from its account, describing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's claims as false and politically motivated. In a statement, the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolapo Alime, said the EFCC froze the state account to frustrate the payment of workers' palliatives, allegedly at the instance of former Governor Boyega Oyetola. The state government insisted that no public funds were misappropriated, maintaining that available resources had been used for infrastructure projects, workers' welfare, and other developmental programs. It also accused the EFCC of conducting a prolonged witch hunt investigation since March 2026 without finding evidence against the top officials, while alleging that the agency's actions were intended to tarnish the administration's image. The government argued that if the EFCC had credible evidence of wrongdoing, it should follow due legal process instead of freezing government accounts. In the meantime, the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has faulted the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over the reported freezing of Osun State government bank accounts, saying the anti-graft agency lacks the constitutional power to impose a blanket restriction on state finances without due legal process. NBA President Afam Osigwe, in an interview with The Punch, warned that any directive restricting withdrawals from accounts belonging to a state government would effectively cripple governance and amount to an abuse of power. Osigwe acknowledged that the EFCC could seek court orders against a specific account suspected to be linked to fraud, but insisted that the Commission could not lawfully freeze all accounts belonging to a state government. Coming up shortly on the news at 4. Russian strikes kill 6 in Ukraine as Moscow intercepts hundreds of drones. And that's on the foreign scene. We also have sports stories all coming up after this timeout. Please stay with us.
In the heart of Asaba, where the street tells the stories every single day.
From the corridors of powers to the decisions shaping governance and politics in Delta and Nigeria.
From traders counting every naira to families battling rising costs and uncertain times.
From football pitches to sporting successes to the major developments making the headlines all over the world.
And from the untold human stories, the struggles, victories, resilience, and hope of the everyday Nigerians.
This is the news beyond the headlines. Dott TV News are your trusted window to stories that truly matter to the people. Here, we don't just report events, we tell the human stories behind them.
The Delta Broadcast Media Organization, in conjunction with the Delta State Ministry of Information, presents the Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0. Theme: the broadcast media as a democratic catalyst, shaping public trust and electoral credibility in 2027. Keynote speaker, Sheon Okimbaloye. Anchor, Politics Today on Channels Television. Guest speakers, Ayo Mairo Esse. Anchor, Arise News. Agatha Amata, CEO, Trend FM. Samuel Fejoku, veteran broadcaster and senior special assistant to the governor on protocol. Guest of honor, Honorable Charles Ehiedu Aneagu, Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information. And Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Guo. Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly. Special guest of honor, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori, the Executive Governor of Delta State. Convener, media personality, Ruki Onoro. Date, August 14, 2026. Time, 10 a.m. Venue, Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba. There'll be high-level networking, media interaction, capacity building, awards, and lots more. Register to attend on www.deltabroadcastmediaconference.org. For inquiries, call 0706-701-8400, 0803-874-9265. Delta Broadcast Media Conference 2.0, powered by Delta State Government. Sponsors, Dominion Pearl Homes and One Niger app. Supported by NTA, DBS, Quest FM and TV, Warri Sentinel, Trend FM, Mega FM, Baramatu Voice, Oko FM, Crown FM, Sleek FM, Eku FM, Big Heart Radio, Cruise FM, Atlantic TV, Rise FM, and Dott TV.
Thanks for still being there. Now to the rest of our stories. The Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and the presidential candidate of the Nigeria Democratic Congress, Peter Obi, have again criticized Nigeria's leadership and governance challenges, declaring that the country possesses abundant human and natural resources but continues to underperform because of poor leadership. They spoke at the opening session of the Methodist Church Nigeria's biennial conference in Ibadan, Oyo State, with discussions centering on national security, governance, economic recovery, leadership, justice, and the future of the country. For Makinde, Nigeria's challenge was not a lack of talent or resources, but the quality of leadership. In his remarks, Obi thanked the Methodist Church for its contributions to national development, adding that Nigerians should stop deceiving themselves about the country's challenges, insisting that the nation's greatest problem remained leadership. A former director of public relations of the Nigerian Air Force, Olatokunbo Adeshanya, has welcomed the federal government's recent salary increase for military personnel, but argued that improving troop welfare requires a far more than higher pay. Speaking during a television interview, Adesanya described the new salary structure approved by President Bola Tinubu as a significant milestone, saying it would boost morale, improve retention of experienced personnel, and help reduce corruption within the armed forces. However, he stressed that salaries represent only one aspect of a comprehensive welfare package needed to strengthen the military and enhance national security. Adesanya called for greater investment in military health care, education for the children of service personnel, and housing both during and after active service. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has announced a reduction in the ex-depot prices of premium motor spirit (PMS) and automotive gas oil diesel. The refinery said that the changes are effective Thursday, August 6, thereby reaffirming its commitment to providing affordable, high-quality petroleum product to the Nigerian market. Under the new pricing structure, it reduced the ex-depot price of PMS to 1,065 naira per litre, down from 1,215 naira per litre, representing a reduction of 50 naira per litre. Similarly, the ex-depot price of diesel has been reduced to 1,570 naira per litre from 1,650 naira per litre, amounting to a decrease of 80 naira per litre. The Dangote refinery said that the price review reflects ongoing effort to enhance energy affordability, improve access to refined petroleum products, and support economic activities across Nigeria. And now to the foreign scene, where Iran says it has reached an agreement with Oman on a route for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Bakay did not give any further details on the agreement, which he said was in the final stages. Bakay warned, however, that a deal with Oman would not guarantee safe navigation through the strait. Aegean security remained impacted by the U.S. blockade of Iran's port. The U.S. and Oman have not commented on the proposal. Since the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran in February, Tehran has largely blocked the Strait of Hormuz, through which about a fifth of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas usually passes. Russian strikes on eastern Ukraine have killed at least 6 people overnight, local authorities have said, as Moscow shut down 605 Ukrainian drones over its territory and the annexed Crimean Peninsula. Rescuers worked on Thursday to douse fires and clear debris in Balaklia in the eastern Kharkiv region after Russian strikes on homes killed 3 people, authorities said on the Telegram messaging app. Vitaly Karabanov, head of the military administration in the frontline city, said the victims were 2 women and a man. 3 more people were killed overnight and at least 19 others wounded in Russian attacks in the northern region of Sumy. A University of Cambridge professor at the center of a plagiarism row has resigned with immediate effect. On Wednesday, the university said it had launched an investigation into Professor Jason Arthey following new information about his academic qualifications and honorary appointments. Arthey, who became the university's youngest ever black professor in 2023, has admitted errors in his work, but said he had faced an unrelenting level of public scrutiny and personal attack and was not a liar. It came after a series of media reports questioning some of his achievements and allegations of plagiarism in his PhD thesis. Arthey said he had concluded that the only way to bring this chapter to an end is to step away. For sports stories, let's now join Anthony Uche.
The Super Falcons of Nigeria have qualified for the quarterfinal of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations after hammering Egypt 6-2 in the final Group C game on Wednesday. The result means the Super Falcons finish in second place on 6 points, while Malawi, also on 6 points, topped the group despite losing 2-1 to Zambia in the other fixture. The 10-time African champions wasted little time in asserting their dominance, opening the scoring from the spot, courtesy of Asisat Oshoala. Other goals came from Gift Monday, Uche Nakalo, Christy Ucheibe, Captain Rashidat Ajibade and Joy Omewa, propelling Justin Madugu's side into the quarterfinals where they will go up against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, who finished first in Group D. Still on Nigeria's national teams, goalkeeper Lawani Clinton produced 2 crucial penalty saves as Nigeria's Flying Eagles edged past Cote d'Ivoire 4-3 on penalties to reach the WAFU B Under-20 Championship final. After the Ivorians claimed an 18th-minute lead, Nigeria responded in the 68th minute when captain Habila Simeon headed home the first goal conceded by the host nation all through the tournament. Abubakar Aliyu then put the Flying Eagles ahead in the first period of extra time, but the dramatic late equalizer from Cote d'Ivoire leveled the match at 2-2 and forced the spot kicks. Despite a setback when Captain Simeon missed Nigeria's second penalty, Clinton's heroism between the posts was enough to secure a dramatic victory. The Flying Eagles will now advance to the final where Burkina Faso await them. Now to global football, where Gianni Infantino has apologized for errors he made in controversial plans to sell off stakes in the competitions to private investors, but will remain FIFA president reportedly after receiving backing from senior executives in a meeting in Morocco. The scheme drew fierce pushback, including UEFA declaring a loss of confidence in Infantino and FIFA Secretary General Matthias Grafstorm criticizing the sequence of events in an internal memo. Despite the fallout, Infantino secured the reaffirmation of full support from Grafstorm and the management board. And in a joint statement sent out to Vice Presidents, Council and 211-member association, Infantino and Grafstorm expressed sincere regrets over errors in handling the proposal and failing to consult key stakeholders properly. And finally, Newcastle United have officially appointed 38-year-old Matthias Heysel as their new head coach following the recent departure of Eddie Howe. The German manager joins the Magpies from Saudi Arabian outfit Al Ahly, where he guided the club to consecutive AFC Champions League titles, building on a successful 2-year spell at RB Salzburg that yielded 2 Austrian Bundesliga trophies and an Austrian Cup. Upon his arrival, Heysel had expressed complete confidence in Newcastle's long-term vision. The new boss will now begin immediately working on Saturday's pre-season friendly against Valencia, with the club expected to announce the remaining members of his backroom staff in due course. Anthony Uche reporting for Dott TV News.
And that's all we have for you on Dott TV News at 4. Thank you for your time. I am Chiamaka Ezapota.